Hey everybody, it's Jason. Today we're going to go through a bunch of Pokemon Sword and Shield themed cards. So I have a bunch of random packs here. So we have regular Sword and Shield, I have Vivid Voltage, I have a Darkness Ablaze, I have Evolving Skies, I have 3 Chilling Rains, and 3 Fusion Strikes. So we're going to just go through them. Just whatever. I've opened all these already and looked at them, but we're gonna go through them all anyhow. So we're gonna start with just the base Sword and Shield set. Let's see what kind of different things we got in here. So we like looking at Pokemon cards. We have Michino. A little tail whip there. A Sobble, some very basic stuff. Bitblood. A Baltoy, kind of weak art, but that's alright. Galarian Meowth, who's the steel type. Oh, that's actually fun. I mean, it uses a steel, but I just realized. So, Holding Causes, during your next turn, this attack does 60 more damage. So it does 90. So this reminds me of the original Scyther from the base, or from the base game, or is it Jungle? It might have been Jungle. Might have been the base game. Because I had the same idea. Your first attack didn't do any damage, but it doubled your next attack, so then you get 2 attacks where you hit for enough to take out almost anyone. So that was always fun. Alright, then we have a foil. Yep, a little bit foil. So I just looking at Dragon Ball Super cards. I don't like these foils compared to that, because this is a generic gloss foil over the entire card. I'd rather have either like a unique foil or nothing at all. Alright, so we have Scorpii. We get, of course, a Fist Energy, fighting. Pokegear number 3. The Aurora Energy. It attaches to one of your Pokemon only if you discard another card in your hand. Provides 1 energy of every type, but only provides 1 every time. Well, that's definitely fun. Ferrothorn. Ooh, that's even fun. Energy Swap. You may move all energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon, so he's gonna die. Move it to somebody else. And then we have a Ninetales, who has a Flame Cloak. Attach a fire energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. I like some of them, like they're very easy to play. You play 1 fire, you attack, and then you get a second one. So then, it boosts it up. The only downside is, I can say I don't like about this. It says attach a fire energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon, not me. So you're gonna keep pulling them out of your discard pile. Alright, that's alright though. Alright, up next we have Sylveon and Evolving Skies. And I know these aren't in release order, but I have no idea what they're released as. We have a Mareep, a Rear Kick, a Dino, Call for Family, which is a very common ability. Gentle Slap. It's a Tentacool. I should probably read the name of the Pokemon, not the attacks. Hoppip. Zora. We have a Foil Tentacruel. I'm going to try and save the rares for last. We have a Copycat Trainer. Zoelius. Who's Psychic and Dark. He's a Dragon type. Ooh, to go with our Hoppip, we have a Skip Bloom. I used to Jumpluff a lot back in the day, so I probably might be able to work using one of the decks if I still had them. If you attack energy from your hand to this Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it in this Pokemon to evolve it and shuffle your deck. Nice, so basically you play a free energy to evolve him. We got Steel Energy. And then finally we got a rare with a special foil. Again, so this foil is a little bit better than just a generic foil. You can kind of see it doesn't 100% encompass the Pokemon. it's just a little bit more interesting, but it's still not. It's still okay. It's kind of just like eh. Rapid Strike Connection. As often as you like during your turn, you may move an energy from one of your Pokemon to one of your Rapid Strike Pokemon. Interesting. So this is Vortis. What was from your hand? Okay. Awesome. Alright, so that was that pack. Next we have Darkness Ablaze with, I don't even know who that is. That is, we just had Zelios, I think it's his upgraded version. It's the three-headed dragon. I don't remember all the newer ones. We have Morlo. Wishy-washy. He's so sad. Shuffle your hand deck and draw a card. Ooh, I like that. Q-Fant. A different Dino from the one we had before. There's a Pansear. Foil Fletchinger. Poltegeist. T-Break. That's fun. You must discard a Pokemon that has Mad Tea Party attack from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw 2 cards. That's actually fun. This attack does 20 damage to each Pokemon in your discard pile that has Mad Tea Party. That is cool. I like abilities that work together from different characters. I like to get started doing that. We have Vanillish. We have a supporter, Rose. Fighting Energy. And then a foil Perching rare. Or Perching, sorry, not Perching. Double draw 2 cards. Yeah, seeing some of the way the game evolved over the years is really fun. Vivid Voltage. Because I like it now that they have like the trainers are separated out into like tools and supporters. Because then you can like reference them on cards. The upgraded versions of stuff like X Pokemon, V Max, Max, any of those different ones where you just play a higher level card straight from your hand. I kind of like the idea of it, because then it's not, you have to always sit there and evolve your Pokemon up. But on the other hand, it sort of like lets you be a little bit more abusive. I also wish they'd done some stuff like that where there's a way to get like the second evolutions out. Like, hey, maybe I really want to play Ivysaurs and not Venusaurs. Or maybe I want to play my Wartortles. You know, things like that would be kind of neat too. Or, what do they call that? They had the evolution, which is like, some of them are just one-time battles, and like Gigamax and that stuff. Would have been maybe neater if they would have done those as like, you can play these ultra-powerful big cards, but they're like, more like trainers or like one-turn effects. Like they replace their other Pokemon for a turn, or you get like X number of counters on them, and then they go away. Like, that would have been maybe been a neater idea. Like, you play them, like, you have to play them on top of a version of that, like, I wish I had, like, one in my hand to look at. I think, so, I have a Drillbur here. I love this clay artwork. But I think that would have been a neater idea. Would have been, like, so if I have, like, whatever the big ultimate ones are, like, the VMAX, you know, Max, G, X, whatever they call any of them. Basically, if let's say I have a Venusaur, I would have to play that on top of one of my regular Venusaurs, but it would be like a one-turn effect. Like, maybe it doesn't have any energy cost or something, or maybe it has energy cost, so I have to be paying attention to how many my previous Pokemon had. But it'd be like, hey, here's a massive boost. I play this on top of it. It has, you know, three or 5 counters or something on it. Or like maybe now instead of having 120 hit points, you know, you put like a counter on like every 10 damage you do, like you take off 1. So if that's 5, so if it gets hit for 50 damage or something, it'll remove it and knock it back down. Or it removes encounters. Every turn it can stay out. If it has 5 counters, it stays out for 5 turns. If it gets hit, you have to remove 1 counter. Now it's only out for 4 turns. It gets hit a second time, 3 turns. So it's limited, so it does at least make your opponent want to attack it, no matter what. Maybe if they have somebody doing double attacks, that would help. Things like that would be kind of neat versus just being able to play giant guys, because there's no penalty to playing them. There's not a cost to play them. You can just play big giant guys, so kind of key, why do you play all the small ones? Oshawott here. I do get where the point is they have the weakness if they get KO'd, they have double prizes and stuff like that, but I think there's enough stuff to, like, move them to their bench, bounce them back to your hand. Enough ways to, like, make it so, like, you can try and get around them from having to lose. Like, back in the day, which, again, I used to play when this game first came out, there's a Duskull and a Pharaoh Seed. There used to be the chump blockers, the stall decks. You had cards like Tenghis Khan and Snorlax. You had high hit points, 90, 120. And you just sat there and let them block while you built up the rest of your guys. And then you let them die. You're like, oh, I lose 1 card for that character. Not a big deal. But all these big guys, you can drop in and they have 240 hit points. But you can play like 3 of them. So, I mean, I don't play the game currently, so I guess I can't. I can't speak to how well they work in battle. I'm sure they work fine, but I think it could have went a different route with that. But that's just my thoughts. You didn't come here probably to listen to me blabber on. Pharaoh Seed. Ooh, a Dusclops. And a Pharaoh Thorn to go with my Pharaoh Seed. So that's just kind of my thought. They could go. But I go at some of the advancements they've made in the game. Like a Goat. Steel Energy, and a Flareon. Some of the new stuff, originally they used, or like earlier on, they started making named Pokemon like the gym leaders. And they did stuff like that, which I thought were really fun. And then now they later went Team Aqua and Team Magma and like Team Rocket. Cards are like, they can only evolve from like characters with those things were kind of neat because they made them a little bit more unique versions. But they're also limited because then after they went away from sets, I don't think they've ever went back to those characters, which that would have been kind of neat. Like, Pirac could go back to them. But again, I can get where you don't want to do a new gym leader set every, 10 games out now. You'd have to do so many of those. Again, they could have done that a little bit differently, just had a thing. But the thing is, cards that reference this one's kind of new. This Pokemon has a memory capsule attached. Grass Pokemon in play have no abilities. So that's kind of a fun thing, because it rewards you for trying to play a specific card. Or like ones that named abilities, like that Sinistea, where it named Mad Tea Party. Things like that I think are actually really fun. Now we're going to have a bunch of fusion packs. So getting some of the stuff that names other things, like now they have the Single Strike, Rapid Strike, kind of a neat thing there. You can kind of reference the little abilities of stuff. We have a Voltorb, a Pansage, a Cufant, a Gligar, Slugma. We have a rare foil, a Landorus. So foils are really hard to read. That's why I don't like these full foils over that text, especially the background. If it didn't have the background maybe, but it makes it hard to read. At least in my opinion. I mean, I can still do it, but... Grapploct. Pangoro. A good old Megapod. Megapod with 80 HP, that's nuts. Water Energy. And finally a Swampert with Muddy Maker. The weakness resistance thing on the bottom, they added, they changed that a little bit. Like, they're always changing how the cards look. So that's really fun. Alright, we have another one here with a Mew. We have a Shelmet. It's a Fusion Strike. Drillburt. Bunnelby. Mudkip. Vullaby. A foil card is a Sliggoo. I like multicolored cards, those are always fun. Darkness Energy. Phalanx. A Simisear. A Wigglytuff. I love this crochet like artwork. That's really cool. I'd like to think someone actually crocheted those. I don't know if they did that or it's just if it's actually just an animation or drawing. That's really fun. And then we do have a not a super rare, but a nice rare, Chandelure V. So again, this is one of the things that I love this artwork too. This is fantastic. That foil is actually really neat on there. You can see you can read this text very easy compared to some regular generic foils. But yeah, being like 200 HP, this would have definitely been a cool thing where it'd be like, you have to play a Chandelure out, and then this goes over your Chandelure, and upgrades it. So it's like, maybe some of them are like, the, like, VMAX, not VMAXs maybe, but like maybe a VMAX versus a regular V. Like you have V's and you have level X's and, G's, and I don't remember all of them. Which maybe are just like upgrades. Like, oh, I have to have this out, it upgrades it. Then maybe you have some of the max versions, like regular max, Gigamax, stuff like that. We need counters, so they're even bigger, better versions. They give you, like, hey, this guy's knocked out. You lose three treasures instead of two, or three prizes instead of two, but your opponent, but it's also, like, that much more powerful. So, I mean, this guy, I guess the opposite difference of this is, like, looking at this guy, yes, he has 200 HP, but his abilities, Confuse, makes a confused Pokemon for one attack, and, Poltergeist says your opponent reveals their hand, this attack does 40 damage for each trainer you find there. Just might only do 40 damage, maybe 80, for 2 energy. So, I mean, if we look at some of the other, like, here's stage 1. So he has 80, so a lot less HP, but his attack does 50. So let's see if I had another stage 2 in here, so of course I don't. We're gonna have, like, Jigglypuff, or Wigglytuff being one. It's 120, so it's still about, not quite half, but its attack for 3 does 90. So, versus Chandelure, yes, it's only gonna do 40, but potentially 80 if they have a card in their hand. So it's still, even if they have one, it's not going to do as much. So I can see where that is just kind of like a bonus, or maybe those ones are like special, like straight come out, but some of the more powerful ones, I think, like, it do, like, this does like 300 damage. You know, I don't know. Just my thought. I think maybe someday I'll have to just go through, like, all these different cards, pull a bunch of cards out and look through all that stuff. We have a Goomy, an Arrokuda, it's a Barracuda, Snubble, Geodude, Sizzlipede, Foil Lapras with Rapid Strike, Fire Energy, Heliolisk, Electric Bullet, Dunsparce, Cramomatic, it's funny. I do like this fact, again, another upgrade feature I do like about this game is, I said again, they made, like, trainer cards, they have them separated into items, and then, like, if we look back at some of these other ones I had in here, of course, now that I want to find one, yes, you have another item, but, like, the energy, special energy, it lists it as a special energy at the top. And I know we had at least one, just some supporters in here. And then supporters are limited as well, because some of them were, frankly, back in the day, were broken. But yeah, that's actually a fun thing too, because then you can also reference those cards, like if you discard another item, versus just all trainer cards being lumped into one thing. I don't know if they still make stadium cards, but that's definitely a were fun too back in the Gym Leader Gym Challenge sets. And then we have a V Celebi. Yeah, so catch any number of Leaf Energy cards from your hand, just Pokemon any way you like, such as Pokemon on your bench Pokemon. So I can see where this isn't abusive. This is also just a normal basic anyhow. Lots of health, like a little bit of ability. It's an upgraded version. It's a V. Gains a lot more health. It's harder to kill than maybe one of the other ones you have to upgrade. But if you do take it out, it does a lot more. So it's not gonna like dominate and knock out a ton of other guys right away. We have Chilling Rain. So we have a Coughing, a Smog, Galarian Yamask, Snorunt, Bounce Sweet, Kefaboo, another Coughing. It would be interesting to go through every set of Pokemon cards and try and find out what Pokemon has the most versions. And I would say like per set, because sometimes they have like some of the old mid sets, I guess, had like two of some of the basic characters, just because they hadn't been made in a while. It's an Agatha, Rapid Strike, Scroll of the Sky. So this is kind of fun here. These are tools which so you can attach them. They kind of just make a subgroup for the items. Also, this one specifies Rapid Strike Pokemon this is attached to can use that. So it gives an extra ability to a Pokemon, but it has to be a Rapid Strike one. So it gives them specialized things. Oh, we do have stadiums. Speaking of those, we have Dynatree Hill. I love stadium cards. These are a really fun addition to the game. I forgot what I was saying. Go through to see what one has the most. Like I'm sure Pikachu is probably like number one. Like Eevee is probably like close to number 2, just because they have its starter sets and all this. But it'd be interesting to see like I see like Weezing and Muck and some of them guys a lot, or you see a lot of Meowths. It'd be interesting to see like if there's any ones that have only been made like once or twice. We do have another rare in this set, which is interesting because this is a different pack. But it's an alternate art for this one. There's both Leaflet Dance and 60. But yeah, this one in this set, in the Fusion Strike, is a rare foil. You know, it's 245. This one is just a regular, like, rare foil, because it's number 7. But it's the exact same abilities, same stats. So that's crazy. Like, because of the artwork or the foil, they're like, yeah, this one's rare, this one's regular rare. We have this guy here. I don't even know who some of these guys are. I have to play my Sword and Shield more. We have Porygon, Sharpen, Grookey, another Mareep, Rockruff, Swirlix. Here's a Expedition Uniform, Fire Energy, another Dynatree Hill, Flaffy to go with our Mareep. I love when you get same evolutions in the same pack. Karen's Conviction. And then we have another V. We have Galarian Articuno of the Reconstitution. You may discard 2 cards from your hand in order using this ability. Once your turn, you may draw a card. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. So this is one of the ones where this is a little bit overpowered. 210. It's going to take a lot to take this guy out. and he has 3 energy, but he does 110 damage. So, I mean, that 110 damage is going to take out any basic, pretty much any basic, unless it's a single evolution, any level 1, unless it's only has a level 1, because usually it's just the end of their line, they're a little bit more powerful. And then probably a decent amount of level 3s. I mean, just in what we got out of this pack, 70, 70, 60, 60, 60, 70. Yeah, so like our level stage 1, 110, takes out Heliolisk in 1 turn. So you spent time building up Heliolisk, Now, even if I had Heliolisk out, his second attack does 60 damage. So I'd have to use this, 4 times to take this guy out? Or, at least 4 attacks then at most. But also does 20 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. So also, he'd have to do 4 damage. So you're going to get 4 hits off with 2 energy before Articuno gets 3 out. Even a Lapras would have to hit him twice to take out Lapras. But Lapras doesn't do any damage. So it's kind of interesting. I'm trying to see if I have another. Yeah, so like there we have Wigglytuff, 120. So I'd have to get hit twice, but assuming you're just trading blows back and forth, Wigglytuff can only do 2 attacks, can only do 180, and still has to also have the same amount of energy. But it's gonna have to do it 3 times. So yeah, so it's kind of just interesting on the thought of those. And we got one last pack here. We have another Bounce Sweet, a Furfrou, a Diglett, that's some cool artwork, Larastra, Inkay, a foil Telecan. Of course, hiding all my cards with my words on. We got Porygon too, with our Porygon. Impact Energy, that's fun. An old Cemetery. Whenever a player attaches an enemy from their hand to one of their non-psychic Pokemon, deal 2 damage. Like, ooh, that's fun. I like the stadiums to be kind of neat. It would be neat to like either have like in a side deck and you randomly shuffle them and then you draw a stadium, and that's what it is for the game. So it could impact or could not hurt anybody depending on who it is. I'm sure there's special rules. And our final card is Weavile. Again, look at 110. So that Articuno could take it out in 1 hit. And what can Weavile do to it? During the next turn, if the defending Pokemon is damaged from an attack from a Rapid Strike, it will be knocked out. So basically, you could do this, switch to another Rapid Strike, and then hopefully take it out. So it's possibly one thing you could do to take out anything, but you have to play another Rapid Strike. Or search your deck up with your 2 cards, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So basically, you could use him to set up, but still, it would take at least 2 turns, and that's assuming that he hits it that first time. Lapras, even if Lapras hits him and knocks him out, you could put a Rapid Strike in. You'd still lose one of your guys to be able to take out Lapras, which I mean is maybe a fair trade, but that's kind of how it goes, I guess. Alright, so those were our Pokemon Sword and Shield, plus a bunch of ramblings from an old timer that used to play the game back in the day that doesn't know how it works. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time. Bye.